Shalom, shalom.
Can you hear me?
It's another Sabbath. My name is Michael Oliver, which is Hebrew for Michael. Since it's another Sabbath, we're going to go on and we're going to continue reading out this Bible. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the show I had before and going to expound on certain things so you can get the full understanding. See, sometimes people read things too fast or go over it too quick and don't really grasp what's going on. So now, I'm going to go over a few scriptures I went over last week. And this is understanding how things work with Satan and Israel and why we're going through what we go through. Move this out the way. Okay. Now, I want to get, first of all, you want to prove we're the chosen people. Give me Amos 3:1. Yahweh, be my reader. I need you to be my reader. You.
Oh, push right more. Push right already.
I'm going to show you who the chosen people are and why we're going through the hell that we're going through right now. The Most High wrote all this out. It's like a movie. This guy reading. You ready? Yeah, how are you gonna do the?
Don't have it yet.
You get Isaiah 54:3. Okay. Yeah. 3:1.
All right, the book of Amos 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord had spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Now, what you want to do is understand we are the chosen people. Okay? When you explain this to people out in the street, they get upset. Why can't everybody be a child of God? It don't work like that. He sets the criteria. He has a chosen people, separate from all the other nations. We're gonna go through ups and downs, and the end run would be what? The kingdom. The Most High set everything up. Before we get to that kingdom, we're gonna have ups and downs. That's what we're going through right now. You have to understand why we catching the hell we did. We broke the laws of the Heavenly Father. And the laws were only given to Israel. Read.
Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Right. It said the whole family. That's the nation of Israel. Only one nation fits this criteria. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Right. That's biased right there. The Most High singles out the nation of Israel. The patriarchs were who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those were our forefathers. Okay, and it trickles down to what? The 12 tribes of Israel. Go ahead.
Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Right. The reason why we was punished, we broke the laws. The other nations weren't given the laws. Most people have a hard time accepting that. Here's proof. The other nations were dealing in what? Idolatry, witchcraft, all kind of things. Israel was told not to do that. Why? To keep us separate from the other nations. Go ahead.
Okay. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Right. What verse you? What verse?
Three.
Go ahead.
Will a lion roar in the forest when he had no prey? Will a young lion cry out of his den if he have taken nothing? Verse 5.
No, that's it on that.
Okay.
That was what you read before was 4, right? I
Yeah,
wanted to end
4.
at 3.
Right.
That's okay.
4.
Get me Isaiah 54. You're going to show how the children of Israel were separate from everybody.
Isaiah 54.
Yeah, you're going to start at the 8th verse.
54
We're going to show the
and-
children of Israel were the chosen people.
Isaiah 54, verse 8. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee.
Right. All the turmoil we went through, the captivities, the sufferings, we brought on ourselves. People say, well, look, why did the Lord allow that to happen? He gave us the laws, told us what to do, what not to do. And what did we do? We did just the opposite. It's like when you have a child. You tell the child, don't play ball in the house. Then you come home and find the lamp broken. Why? Because he was playing ball in the house. You got to lay down the law. Because if not, you're going to have total anarchy in your house. Same with the Most High. You have all these people on the earth. The Most High has a chosen people. He has special plans for them, but they have to be molded. I'm the creator. You're my creation. You're my chosen. I have plans for you, but you must follow these guidelines. They're called laws. And Israel had a hard time following it, so you got to deal with the consequences. Okay, read that again.
Okay. Isaiah 54 and 8. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee.
Right. Now, when the Most High hides his face from us, what does that mean? All the other nations are watching this. When he has his eyes on us, we're protected. Who protects us? The angels. When the Most High turns his head, that's a green light for everybody to do Israel in. See? That's part of being the chosen people. Jealousy. But see, with our people, it was one of the main problems was ignorance. We didn't realize who we were dealing with. We didn't realize the benefits we were going to get by following the laws. We were the chosen. The Creator chose us over all the other nations because he has plans for us down the road. But first, we got to start here. In order, following laws and listening. Go ahead.
Okay. But with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord,
Right.
thy Redeemer.
Every time we went into captivity, it was a harsh captivity. But afterwards, the Most High put his face on us again. And what did that do? That took a lot of the hardship, the suffering, and agony away from our people. And he delivered us. Go ahead.
Verse 9. For this is as the waters of Noah unto me. For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth, so have I sworn that I will not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee.
Right. So what's the Most High telling us? It's like a child. When you spank your child is scared, your child is angry, but your child have to understand this anger that you have is not going to be forever. It's for a little while. everything we went through, the Most High, He spanked us as a nation. That was a little bit of wrath. Remember who you're dealing with. You're dealing with the Creator that made everything, and He punished us. Go ahead.
Verse 10. For the mountains shall depart, and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee.
Right, that's a guarantee. No matter how bad things get, because remember, we brought it on. It's going to be for a little while, it's going to end, and the Most High is going to show what? Kindness and mercy towards us, His chosen. Go ahead.
Neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith the Lord, that have mercy on thee.
Okay, what verse was that?
That was 10.
Okay, go ahead.
11. O thou afflicted, tossed with tempests.
That's talking about us. All the trials and tribulations we went through that we brought on ourselves. Go ahead.
And not comforted. Behold, I will lay thy stones with fair colors, and lay thy foundations with sapphires.
Right. No matter how bad things got, the Most High has something waiting on us, something positive. Why? His main goal is to give us that kingdom. But we got to go through these ups and downs as a learning process. Just like I said, like with children. Excuse me, like with children. You want them to grow up, be productive, and something to be proud of. But you have to discipline them. Go ahead.
12. And I will make thy widows of agates, and thy gates of carbuncles, and all thy borders of pleasant stones.
Right. Go ahead.
13. And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord.
That's talking about what? The laws. That comes with what? The covenant. The covenant is going to be in our inward parts, like a second nature. That's how the Most High has that. When we get to the kingdom, the laws are going to be second nature to us. That's why in the kingdom we won't be able to sin. It'd be impossible. Like you can't control. You can hold your breath, right? But can you skip a heartbeat? No. That's how the laws are going to be. It's going to be in us, where you cannot sin. It's not going to be part of your nature to sin. And we're the only one that's going to have that. Go ahead.
And great shall be the peace of thy children.
Right. Now, you know that's way down the road, considering where we are right now. That's way down the road. But what we got to go through? Turmoil. Okay. Let me see. Where were we?
That was 13.
Okay. Now, where did my notes go? Wait a second.
You want me to read 14?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Let's drop. Oh. Drop my notes. Okay. Now, Israel's a special people. Now, we were punished by the Most High. Why? Because we broke the laws. I'm rehashing things to make it clearer. Get Luke 21:24.
Luke 21:24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
Who's talking about? He's talking about us. We will fall by the edge of the sword. When the Most High has his eyes on this nation, Israel, everything is peaceful. Okay? It's productive. But when there's trouble, anything can happen. The other nations are going to try and take us. They say, well, we can get those people. How come they didn't think that before? Because the Most High had that hedge around us. He removed that hedge. So everybody else figured they're going to come and do what they want to do. And they did. 70 AD. They surround Jerusalem. No supplies went in, no supplies came out. They starved us. And when we got weak, they went in. And they jacked us up. Everything is on record. When you get a chance, look at the Josephus. It tells you how bad things were. On the inside of Jerusalem, it was so bad, people was eating bird dung. That's how bad it got. Read your history. It's scary. And this is the Most High that created us and made us his chosen. But like he said in Isaiah 54, in a little wrath, that's just a little wrath. He said he hid his face from us. Okay, when we was on them slave ships being humiliated, that's still a little wrath, considering who you dealing with. Okay, where you at?
I'm still in 24.
Read.
Okay. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations.
Right, and all this is documented in history. That's how Israel got scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Give me Lamentations 2 and 5.
Lamentations 2 and verse 5.
Right, at this point it tells you, it says the Most High became an enemy to Israel. Now, you know when you have your enemy, you got to watch them. See if they're up to something. This is the creator of heaven and earth became our enemy. So what kind of defense do you have? And he's not going to sneak up on you. He's telling you he's mad and he's going to get you. And he got us. Go ahead.
Lamentation 2 and verse 5. The Lord was as an enemy. He had swallowed up Israel. He had swallowed up all her palaces. He had destroyed his strongholds.
Right. Now, when you read that and you figure, okay, he swallowed and destroyed what? When you sin, you have to come to the priest. And you bring the sacrifice to the priest. And you have to follow the ceremony. All that was wiped out. Using cattle to take away sin, that was eliminated. The priesthood, that was destroyed. Everything was destroyed. There's no way you can get to the Most High. Most High cut us off. But the sins were piling up. And with the Most High, everything has to balance. So how is it going to balance when the priesthood was destroyed? Everything about Israel was corrupt. The priests were corrupt. The people were corrupt. That's why Yahushua was brought on the scene. To even everything out. To clean the slate. Because see, the Most High is the ultimate bookkeeper. Your sins are piling up. And for you to go further with the Most High, you got to be what? Blameless. How are we going to be blameless? We sinning 24/7. Yahushua was brought on the scene for that. He was going to absorb all our sins. He was the sacrifice. Well, you had to bring a goat or a lamb or an ox. Most High wasn't acknowledging that anymore. When you had to go to the priest, Most High didn't acknowledge the priesthood anymore. That's why Yahushua was on the scene. He was what? Blameless. Okay? Where you at?
I'm in 5 still.
Go ahead.
And had increased in the daughter of Judah mourning and lamentation. 6. And he had violently taken away his tabernacle as if it were of a garden.
Right. That's showing you right there. Every avenue to come to the Most High to repent, he cut off. He totally cut us off. Why? We broke his laws. When you read different parts of the Bible, right? That's why it says study to show thyself approved. We were so close to the Most High. When you read in Isaiah 54, we were married to the Most High. And we did what? We broke the laws. We went to other gods. That's like you come home and your wife is in bed with another man. That's how vile that was to the Most High. The creator of heaven and earth made us part of him. And what did we do? We turned our back on him. Something he created out of nothing. That's not good. Now, we're going to go...
I didn't finish.
Huh?
I didn't finish.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. The Lord had caused the solemn feasts and Sabbath to be forgotten in Zion, and had despised in the indignation of his anger the king and the priests.
Right. Everywhere you turn to come to the Most High, he cut it off. The priest can't help you. The king can't help you. Bringing animals for the sacrifice can't help you. And at the same time, what? The sins are piling up. Mm-hmm. And with the Most High, you got to clean that up. You don't clean that up, you got a problem. You already have a problem, but the problem's getting worse. Keep this in mind. In the background was what? Yahweh Shai. First of all, the Most High planned all this. Okay? When you read in Revelations 4 and 11, everything that happens is for the Most High's pleasure. In Genesis, he wrote everything that's supposed to happen, and it happens in order. He got the angels there to make sure everything falls in place. Everything we went through, the ups and the downs, he wrote that. It's like being in a movie that the Most High wrote and the angels are directing. Okay? That's how you got to look at this thing. You see people pulling their hair out. Oh, what are we going to do? It's going to end. Oh, we're never going to. Don't say never going to nothing. At the end of this is a kingdom. But at this point is what? The road is marred with what? Dead bodies and anguish and fear. But don't worry, down the road is what? It's going to get smoother. But you got to get through this first. Like right now. People think, oh, we're going to have a nuclear war and everything's going to get wiped out. No, it's not. There's a kingdom at the end of this. This is just part of the problems we got to deal with. And for you to deal with it, you got to understand this Bible. Okay? Now.
Mike.
Yeah.
Got a precept from Gary Clark. It's Acts 3 and 18. It says, but these things which Yahweh before has shown by the mouth of all his prophets, that Yahushua should suffer, he had so fulfilled.
That's a good precept. Now, let me show you how the Most High has Yahushua in this already. That's a good point, brother. Give me Revelations, the 12th chapter. No, give me Job 2, 1 and 2. Then we're going to go to Revelations, the 12th chapter.
Job 2, 1 and 2.
Yeah. Now,
Job.
Here's what happens. The Most High is sitting there on his throne, and the angels are there. And they come before the Most High and address the Most High. Now, Satan comes before the Most High like everybody else. Everybody got to present themselves to the Most High. He's in charge. All right? Go ahead.
Job 2 and 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High came.
Right. When it says the sons of the Most High, it ain't talking about people. This takes place in the spiritual realm. Okay, the Most High is not sitting on some throne down here on earth and some guys walk up on him and talking. It don't work like that. This takes place in the spiritual realm. Go ahead.
To present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them
Right.
to present himself.
Right. These are angels. So people don't get the wrong idea. It's not talking about people walking up on the Most High talking. No. This is the spiritual world. Go ahead.
Before the Lord. Verse 2. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and forth in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Why? The reason why he's doing that, because when you sin, who's waiting on you? Satan. That's his job. The Most High made him his watchdog. Okay, people say, oh, Satan, he's an evil man, he's bad. No, 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 no. If you're not breaking the law, Satan can't touch you. It's when you mess up, he's right there on you. That's your new best friend. And he got something for you. And the Most High gave him the green light to do that. Go ahead.
Verse 3.
No, that's it on that. Give me it. Now we're going to go to Revelation, 12th chapter. Like the brother brought out about with Yahweh Shai. I'm going to show you how the Most High factors everything in. It proves the Most High wrote all of this, what's going to happen. Now, Satan came to the Most High and was showing the Most High what Israel was doing. Now, Satan didn't really have to do that. This is just for narration. The Most High knows what Israel was doing. First of all, Israel was married to the Most High. And nothing gets past the Most High anyway. Go ahead.
You want me to start at 1?
No, you're going to start at the 7th verse.
7. Okay. Revelation 12 and verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven.
Stop. See, people read that and get the idea that you had angels knocking over chairs and tables. It don't work like that. Satan came before the Most High and told the Most High what Israel was doing, and that was worthy of death. The Most High was not going to allow Satan to kill Israel. Why? The Most High has plans for Israel. All he was going to do was punish Israel. Now, when they get it in church, they got to gas it up and all this other stuff. No, everything is done in order. Michael and the angels, they basically escorted Satan out. It says there was no more place found in heaven. What happened? They would put out the spirit world and put down here on earth. This was going to be their kingdom. Why? To turn this earth into a pure cesspool of hell. Why? Israel was down here. This was Israel's punishment. Satan, we're going to show you, was in charge of everything down here. And as a weapon to use against the children of Israel, which he had a pure hatred for, he would use the nations as the tool against Israel. Remember, Satan is a spirit. So what do? You get into these other nations, and what do? They jack Israel up. The Most High went along with that. Why? Because Israel was supposed to be punished. It's like with Job. He got punished, but don't kill him. Israel got punished by every nation on this planet Earth. Why? This is Satan's domain. And when he sent him down here, the clock was ticking. Why? Like it goes back to Isaiah 54. He says, in a little wrath, which means it's not going to last forever. Everything with the Most High has a limit. He put us down here. Oh, you don't want to follow my laws? Okay. Satan was put down here. This became his domain, the whole planet, and everything on the planet. And he was going to do what? He was going to punish Israel by what? Using the nations. Okay, now go ahead. So you can understand what you're reading. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth.
Stop. He went from the spirit world. They show you that thing on TV sometime when people come like walking through the walls, they're coming from the spirit world to our physical world. The Most High put Satan out of that world, the spirit world, and sent him down here on earth. This is his kingdom right here. He controls everything. How do you know? Everything's messed up. The air's messed up. The water's messed up. The food's messed up. The people are messed up. Everything's messed up. Why? That's Satan. That's his job. And when he was kicked out, he had what? He needs a staff, right? Those are what? Demons. Or angels on the left-hand side. Or fallen angels. Any one of them titles is accurate. Go ahead.
Okay. And his angels were cast out with him.
Right. You got to have a staff.
Verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation.
Stop. I want you to just read this straight through, then we're going to go back over it again to show you how things work. Go ahead.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of Yahushua. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night.
Now, we're going to start it again, the 10th verse, and we're going to read it slow, and we're going to explain it.
Verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven.
This is the angel speaking. Go ahead.
Now is come salvation.
Stop. Everything looks bleak. Not bleak, black for Israel. Satan come to tell the Most High, look, this is what your people doing, A, B, C, and D. And the Most High, he mad as can be, because number one, he already knows what they're going to do, and what they did. And guess what? Now we got to pay. Everything is set up for the payment plan. What's going to happen to us? So now, that word, how does the word salvation work into this? Because when the Most High wrote this script, he left a loophole, an escape hatch for Israel to come back. And what was that? The law. Yahushua. That was the safety net for Israel. Yahushua. Excuse me. Go ahead.
And strength.
Now, where does strength come from? Our back is up against the wall. Everything's against us. Satan is put on earth and given full power down here. We're going to show that in a minute. And we're right in the middle of it, between Satan and the other nations. Because he uses the other nations to punish us. And he got the green light from the Most High to do it. But it says salvation and strength. So people don't get confused. There's a reason for that. When the Most High wrote the script about our life, he leaves safety nets for us. Because remember, the Most High's goal is to do what? Have a kingdom for his people. You can't have a kingdom if you're dead. So what? We're not going to be killed. But we're going to suffer. Go ahead.
And the kingdom of our power.
Now, why is Yahushua's name in this? Give me Matthews 1:21 real quick. Christ is our safety net. That's why Christ's name is in this. It talks about salvation, it talks about strength, it talks about everything. And it mentioned Yahushua's name. Got it? Read.
21 verse first. Read the book of Matthew chapter 21, verse 1.
No, Matthews 1:21.
I got it.
You got to read.
And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus. For he shall save his people from their sins.
Right. So when you read about all the things that's happening on our behalf, Satan getting kicked out the spirit world, all that, and when you get to the 10th verse and you see that word salvation and scratching your head, salvation for these people? And then when it comes down and says, and the power of Christ. What was the power of Christ? Christ was the sacrifice. That's what the power of Christ was. The sacrifice for Israel to get back on track to what? That kingdom. And in good graces with the Most High. Go ahead.
Okay. You want me to go back to Revelation?
After the word Christ. Yeah. In Revelations 10.
Right. Okay. And the power of his Christ.
Right.
For the accuser of our brethren is cast down.
Stop. The accuser talking about Satan. Satan was kicked out of the spirit world to our world. And do what? Take over this whole planet Earth. He was given this earth. Okay, people talking about, oh, I don't believe that Satan was given power over this whole earth and everything in it. The nations, the kingdoms, everything. That's why when you check our records, we went to under each nation, captivity after captivity. Why? We was hard-headed. We wouldn't learn. If you get a chance, get the book of Judges and tell you, and it looks like almost a pinball game. We went from this captivity to that captivity, back to this captivity. And we didn't learn. See? All this was part of the game plan. Satan was given all this power. Go ahead.
Okay. And 10, right. And the power of his Christ, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power, day and night.
Right.
11.
Yeah. Read.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
Stop. They is who? Israel. Overcame them by the blood of the Lamb. Who is that? That's Christ. Christ is our safety net. All hell breaking loose, literally, we gonna catch it left, right, and center. And who's there to save us? Christ, Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
Okay. And by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death.
Now, this is talking about something totally different. And it says, and by their testimony, get me Revelation 6, verses 9 to 11. This is talking about the martyrs for the word. Because see, when you read the Bible, it's not like a novel. You just keep reading and it goes like that. You have different stories. Even in a verse, you have different stories. Now, I'm going to read 11 again. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. It's talking about Israel. Israel saved by the blood of the Lamb. The Lamb is Yahweh Shai. Now, when you go back to the laws in Israel, when you sin, you got to bring a sacrifice to the priest. When you go back to Lamentations 2 and 6, the Most High got rid of all that. The priesthood, everything. The sacrifices, everything. So when Christ comes, Christ is the sacrifice. Where you at?
I'm in Revelation 6 and 9.
Okay, get 9, but hold it. Let me read this. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. That's talking about Christ. That's how we were saved and put back on track. And by the word, this is a different thing now. And by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. These are talking about the stories in the Bible where people were martyrs for the truth. Like the woman with the 7 sons. When you read in the Apocrypha, 1 Maccabees, okay, that's the first chapter. That's Antiochus. What he put our people through, and the people had to stand up to him and say, "Listen, I'm gonna stick with this word. If you gotta kill me, kill me." Now we're gonna show you this in the Bible. You go to Revelation 6, start the 9th verse. Read.
Revelation 6 and verse 9. And when he had opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High.
Right, that's what it's talking about in the 11th chapter. Go ahead.
And for the testimony which they held.
Right. They stood up for what? The Bible. Go ahead.
10. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge the blood of them that dwell on the earth?
Right. So when you get a chance, read that story about the woman with the 7 sons. She sacrificed her sons. They wouldn't eat pork. They were beaten and they were tortured and they were butchered like animals. But they held fast with that law. That's what it's talking about in the 11th verse in Revelations 12. See, so when you read, You got to, like the brother send us the precept. You have to understand that Bible and know where to use and bring in precepts to get a clearer understanding of this Bible.
Right, Brother Gary Clark.
That's a good brother. I like that. See, you got to study. I don't want to change the subject, but eventually everybody going to be reading this Bible. All the cool people, you think I ain't got time for that Bible? The hell that's about to hit this place? They're going to find time to read this Bible. Read.
Okay. And white robes, verse 11, and white robes were given unto every one of them.
Right. The white robes meant their sins were forgiven. They fulfilled everything. Okay, the woman with the 7 sons. Her sons were killed. They wouldn't eat that pork. They gave up their life. They was tortured. I mean, butchered. You got to read that story. And there are other stories where people stood up. And when you stand up for this word, don't think it's going to be something smooth. You're going to pay. Okay? You're going to have to prove yourself to the Most High. And they did. They gave up their life for this word. And their sins were forgiven. Here's what you got to remember. Think of life as like a book. Every time you come back to this earth, it's just another chapter. Your life goes forever. Israel's going to last for how long? Forever. When you come back, it's just a different chapter. Something you got to go through. In other words, the Most High wrote a plot for you when you come back. From the time you born till the time you die, Most High wrote a story for you. Like how you living now, it's just another chapter in the book called Your Life. That was the end of 11?
No.
Read.
And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season.
Right. We talking about now. Why? Because the way this thing is going, more people are going to have to be martyrs for this truth. And you can see it building up now. You think we just going to sit back and all of a sudden you're going to look up and you're going to see Yahweh and the angels come to deliver part of Israel? Oh, no. We're going to go through natural born hell. You can see it now. Why do you think they're bringing migrants in here? People, let's think for a second. Who are these migrants? I got news for you. Some of them are Israelites being brought here for what? Deliverance. And others, they just straight up demons. When you read in Ezekiel 9th chapter, there's a story. The Most High has the angels. One angel, he has an inkhorn and a pen. He's writing. Now, the people who sigh and cry for the Most High, they're on this side of the equation. And then you have the evil spirits on the other hand. Evil spirits get in the people, and the people cause havoc. We call it crime, but the Bible shows you what it's really about. Spirits get in the people, and they attack everybody else. And the ones that sigh and cry for the Most High, they're going to leave them alone. So like a spirit would jump into some guy walking, minding his business. Now he takes out a butcher knife on the train and stabs 8 people. You on the train reading your Bible. He bypasses you and get the person next to you and the person in front of you, but you don't get a mark. Why? That's what it's talking about. When you get a chance, read that. Ezekiel, the 9th chapter. And at the end, what does the angel say? Lord, I have done what you wanted. So in other words, things are going to start happening. And what is it? You in a battle. That's what you got to understand. When people watch the news and they're pulling their hair out and they got their head on the table and they banging their fist, they don't understand the Bible. All the hell you see right now, demons are getting into people and making them do the things they do. You got the migrants, some of them, they riding around, snatching phones, punching people out, stabbing them, beating up the cops and all that. They got spirits on them. Now, if you walking and you following the Most High's laws, you minding your business, you might see people running around punching every other person, but when they come to you, they leave you alone. Not that they scared of you, it's a spiritual thing. The Most High has that hedge around you. That's why when you see this, don't go crazy. Understand that's the Bible. Read that story when you get a chance. Ezekiel, the 9th chapter. Okay? All those are talking about angels on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side, and they're going to get into people. Okay? I don't want to get sidetracked. Where was you at?
I'm still in 11. Just finishing up.
What, Revelations?
Revelation
Okay,
6
go ahead.
and 11. Until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled.
Right, so basically this is talking about modern day what? Martyrs for the truth. So when you go Revelation 6 verses 9 to 11, you can use that as a precept from Revelations 12 and what was that? 11?
11, yes.
Yeah. Like the brother brought in about precepts. I like that. That means study. Okay. Now let's go back to Revelations. I don't want to get sidetracked.
Revelations 12.
Yeah, and
Okay.
12th verse.
Okay. Revelations 12 and
12.
Revelations 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
Right, so in other words, the Most High has the clock ticking on this. It goes back to Isaiah 54. He said, in a little wrath. He kicked Satan out the spirit world to what? The physical world. Gave him power down here. We're going to show all that. And he's going to use the nations as a weapon against Israel. Remember, Satan is a spirit. And his angels are what? Spirits. So when they get you, they got to come into a person. Okay? Read.
Verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child.
Stop. The woman is Israel, and the man child is Christ. Go ahead.
14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle.
Now, this is talking about the deliverance. We're not going to get into that right now. That's in 1 Thessalonians, the 4th chapter. Now, go back to 13. The
13,
the top part
okay.
of 13.
Verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child.
Right. Now, how does Satan persecute the woman? Through the nations. That's how the woman gets persecuted. Captivity after captivity. Now, here's what you want to show the people. It says Satan was cast down to earth, and he has but a short time, and he's full of wrath, right? Now, here's what you got to do. You got to show the people that Satan has rulership down here. Give me Luke, the 4th chapter.
Luke 4 and...
Start at, give me a second. Start at the 5th verse.
Luke 4 and verse 5. And the devil, taking him up into an high mountain.
Right, stop. Go back up a verse. What happens is Yahweh Shai was fasting. Okay? And this whole conversation takes place in the spirit world. It says, hold on 1 second. Am I on the right? Yeah. second. Okay, yeah, the 5th verse.
Okay? Luke 4 and verse
5.
5. And the devil, taking him up into an high mountain.
Stop. This is talking on a spiritual level. It's not talking about physically a high mountain. This is in the spirit world. Go ahead.
Show unto him all the kingdoms of the world
Right.
in a moment of time.
This how it shows. This how it proves this is on a spiritual level and not a physical level. He's showing him kingdoms. You can't show people kingdoms in the physical world, only in the spirit world, and in the order that they rise and fall. Go ahead.
In a moment of time.
Right. So in the moment of time, remember the two people here, not people, the two entities here is Satan, and the other one is Yahushua, and they're in the spirit world. Satan is showing Yahushua all the kingdoms. Now, for some people say, well, how if he Christ, how he don't know all this? Because Christ is coming as a lamb at this point. Okay? He's coming as a lamb. Remember, Christ is over Satan, but in this scenario, Satan is in the driver's seat. He was kicked out of what? The spirit world to what? The physical world, our world. Christ is coming as what? A lamb, the sacrifice for Israel. And Satan has power. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them.
Stop. You bow down to me, I'll make you one of the greatest human beings on the planet. Christ is already, you know who Christ is, but in this case, he's the what? He's the Lamb. Okay, he can't come in his true nature. Why? Because he's the sacrifice for Israel. The Most High wrote all this down. It's beautiful, but you got to understand what you're reading. Go ahead.
Still reading. For that is delivered unto me.
Stop. Read that again, slower.
Okay.
For that.
For that is delivered unto me.
Who said that? Satan. Satan is telling Christ. He made him an offer. He says, that's given to me. Which means what? The Most High gave Satan power over everything on the planet Earth, starting with the kingdoms. Other words, Satan runs the kingdoms. And we're going to prove that. They can't teach you this in church. You know why? How you going to stop? Think for a second. How you going to teach people that all governments are run by Satan? You can't. First of all, it's something called 501c3. The governments run the church. So who are you going to point the finger at? See what I'm saying? You got to read. Go ahead.
And to whomsoever I will, I give it.
Right. Who gave him that authority? Yahweh, the Most High, the one you call God. God told Satan, look, man, that whole planet is yours. Everything. Governments, kingdoms, everything. Now, back then they were called kingdoms. When you speed the clock up, it's government. Same thing. Satan controls everything. Give an example. I'm not going to get sidetracked too much because I have a bad habit of that. The number one nation right now happens to be America. But they're being played by who? Israel. People say, how Israel is playing games and they running things in America? Let's think for a second. When you control Congress, you can do whatever you want. Now people say, how come America don't put Israel in check? I'm going to get sidetracked a little bit. Remember that guy, Epstein? What people don't realize, majority of the people on that list for that island playing with them underage girls were who? Politicians. People in Congress. people who make decisions. So now if they got something on these politicians, Israel can do whatever they want to do. And who's behind this? Satan. Remember, Satan is supposed to bring everything to a head. His job is to destroy this place. Why? Because Israel down here, and Israel get tossed around in this. And the Most High is allowing this. Don't worry, the world not going to blow up and everybody get killed. It don't work like that. The Most High has everything in check. Nothing's going to get out of order. It's just going to get scary as hell. Especially if you don't understand this book.
Con.
Now, where was you at?
Verse 7. Verse 7. If thou therefore wilt worship me, all shall be thine.
Stop. Satan is telling Christ to worship him. Why? Because in this particular scenario, Christ is not over Satan. Christ is the sacrifice. That's his job. And his future is to do what? Die on that cross for Israel. Think of it as a contract between the Most High and Israel. Christ dying on the cross, his blood, that's the signature that make that contract complete. That's how you have to look at it from a practical point of view. But we have to go through these different scenarios. All this is on the road to what? The kingdom. To get to the kingdom, everybody got to go through changes. Christ going through changes, Satan going through changes, Israel going through changes, the nations going through changes. You reading what the changes are. That's what it comes down to. You got to read this book. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, Get thee behind me, Satan.
Right.
For it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve.
Right. I mean, come on. Christ is not going to bow down and worship Satan. Come on now. It's not that far out of line. He let him know who he's dealing with. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And he brought him to Jerusalem, and set him up, and set him on a pinnacle of the temple, and said unto him, If thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down from hence. For it is written, He shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Right. Yahushua ain't going for that. The bottom line is this. He's holding steadfast because he knows who he is. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, It is said, Thou shalt not tempt the Most High thy power. And when the devil had ended all the temptation, he departed from him for a season. And Yahushua returned
Right. Go ahead.
in the power of the Spirit unto Galilee.
Right.
And
now, we're showing you that Satan has power over this earth. Give me John 14 and 30.
Book of John 14 and verse 30. Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world cometh, and had nothing in me, but that
Go ahead.
the world may know that I love the Father, as the Father gave me commandment,
Right.
even so I do.
Right, so it's telling you what? Satan is running this world. Give me 2 Corinthians 4, verses 3 and 4. And this one reads slow.
Okay. 4 and 3. 2 Corinthians 4, verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid from them that are lost, in whom the power of this world had blinded the minds of them which believe not.
Stop. The power of what? This. Why does it say this world? It ain't talking about the Most High. It said of this world. The Most High has power over everything. Okay, this is talking about a smaller portion. Which one? The one that Satan running. Go ahead.
Okay. Had blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahushua, who is the image of the Most High.
Right. Read that again, but slower.
Okay. Okay. Had blinded the minds of them which believe not.
No, start at the beginning.
Lest the beginning, okay. In whom the power of this world had blinded the minds of them which believe not.
Right. Blinded the minds of what? The people who don't believe. The power of this world blinded the minds of people that don't believe. Satan blinded the minds of the people who don't believe what the Most High put in order. The Bible. Go ahead.
Lest the light of the glorious gospel of Jesus Christ, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them.
Right.
Go ahead, go ahead.
You know what? Let me get that because we're going over something.
You want 5?
No. Okay, I got it right here. Okay. But if the gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world, Satan, hath blinded the minds. How does Satan blind the minds of the people? Deception. Okay, of them which believe not. The ones that don't believe, the ones that are lost, he got them blinded. They believe in ideology and all this other nonsense. Okay, least the light of the glorious gospel of Yahushua, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. Unless they will have the understanding of the Most High. That's what that's talking about. So the power of this world, Satan, got the people blinded. Not everybody, some of the people. The one that the Most High is not dealing with. Put it this way, if the Most High is dealing with you, you're not going to be blinded. That's what it's telling you. There's another one in Romans 11:7. It says, those that have eyes and don't see and ears that don't hear. Okay. Everybody's not going to get this. It tells you in Zechariah 13:8 and 9. 1/3 of Israel is going to be saved. The 2/3, they're going to die. Okay. Everybody's not going to make this trip. Satan's going to have an audience. Put it that way, an audience where people get killed. Friends, family, whatever. If you lucky enough to make it, count your blessing. Okay? That's what happens to you in this chapter of your life, in this book called life. That's the way you gotta look at it. Oh, so-and-so didn't make it. That's the chapter he had to deal with. He don't make it. But the fact is, Satan was given power, and we're showing you in the scriptures, Satan is running things. Now, Satan does what the Most High does, but he does it on the negative side. Give me Genesis 4. Start at the 3rd verse.
Genesis 4 and verse 3. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord.
Right. Now this is showing you that the laws of the Bible were there, but they just weren't in written form. Okay? When you want something from the Most High, what do? You gotta give a sacrifice. Satan does the same thing. You want something from Satan, you gotta do what? You gotta give a sacrifice. Weren't they sacrificing children and human sacrifices with Satan? And when you see all these people speed the clock up to today, people talking about, oh, he sold his soul to the devil. That's not a myth. That's real. Satan is real. The power he has over everything is real. And the Most High wants a sacrifice, Satan wants a sacrifice. Everything is right in front of you. What you gotta do, you gotta read. You ain't getting around this. All this is the road to what? The kingdom. Who you at?
Verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof.
Right, that's the right sacrifice, not fruit. How you bring a fruit to the Most High and want to sacrifice? Go ahead.
And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth.
Right.
And
So
his,
you look at, you know, an easier way to look at. Do I have one up here? No. If you look at a multi-plug, you have the part that you plug in, and you have all the other outlets. That's how Satan is. You can go to Satan every single. Give me John 14 and 6. You can get a multi-plug. You got 6 different outlets to get to Satan. You can come this way, you can come that way, or the way after that. With the Most High, there's only one way. You got it?
come, oh,
Yeah, read on John chapter 14, verse 6. Yahweh said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man coming unto the Father but by me.
Right. How you gonna get to the Most High? There's only one outlet. That's Yahweh Shah. Now for Satan, there's plenty of outlets you can get to Satan. Get me Exodus 23:13. All these different nations had their own gods that they made up. And they prayed and they made sacrifices. They took the Lord's sacrifice and they prayed to these other gods that they made up to get power from who? Satan. With the Most High, there's only one outlet. That's Christ. With Satan, there's many outlets. Read.
Exodus 23 and verse 13. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth.
Right. And what and what that's showing you right there, right? You have the other nations, they pray to a God that they made up to get power from Satan, and he gives it to them. Why? They're breaking the law. That's why Satan was sent down to the earth, to cause havoc and confusion.
Check your mic. Did it fall?
Oh. Bear with me 1 second.
Thank you, Sister Chelsea.
Sorry about that. Let me repeat that. Testing. Okay, let me repeat that. When you want something from the Most High, you read that again.
Exodus 23:13.
No, John 14 and 6. Yeah.
Yahweh said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man coming unto the Father but by me.
Right. You got to get to the Most High, you got to go through Yahweh Shai. And there's another one in Matthew 17 and 5 where the Most High said, this is my son in whom I am well pleased. You only go between those two. Now with Satan, there's plenty of ways to get to Satan. You're going to pay for it down the road, but there's plenty of ways. Read that again in Exodus 23:13. Yahweh.
Exodus 23 and verse 13. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other gods.
Right. The other gods that everybody was praying to down here, the other nations. And where Israel was in captivity under any of these nations at any time, because we were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So wherever you was, whether it be in Asia or Africa or anywhere else, you was captive under a certain nation. They praying to Satan, and you catching natural born hell. That goes back to what? Isaiah 54, I think it's 5th verse. He said, in a little wrath. This is still a little wrath. Remember who we got mad. We got the Creator mad. And that to him, a little wrath. Now, here's what you want now. We done got it where Satan got kicked out of heaven to the physical world. He's in charge of the physical world. You got proof of the physical world. Now you have to show the people how the people get power from Satan. Because people say, he ain't getting no power. He ain't got no power. Really? He has power to give. What did he tell Christ? You bow down to me, and I'll give you all this. Okay, that applies to people too. Now, we're going to give you proof that the people got power from Satan. Give me Exodus 4th chapter. Start at the first verse.
Exodus 4 and verse 1. And Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me.
Stop. The Most High wants Moses to come before Pharaoh. And Moses is backpedaling. He's trying to get out of it. That's human nature. Look who he's speaking to. He's speaking to the Most High. And the Most High is telling him to come before what? A head of a government. Of course he's scared. Go ahead.
Nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, the Lord had not appeared unto thee.
Right. Think for a second. You're going before Pharaoh, and you're going to say, listen, this going to happen, that's going to happen, this is what you're going to do. Pharaoh's going to look at him like, how did he get up here? Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto him, what is that in thy hand? And he said, a rod. And he said, cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent.
Right. Moses is talking to the Most High. And the Most High is getting him ready to come before Pharaoh. And he said, you're going to need something to get his attention. So what does he do? He tells him to take his staff, cast it on the ground. And the Most High allows it to be turned into a serpent to show what? Power. Why? Because other nations that deal with Satan have power. That's what people don't understand. Satan running all the kingdoms. And the ones that's in charge, he gives them a certain amount of power. You have to explain this to the people. Even up to where we are right now. Satan's still running things. And don't think people up there don't have power. You just don't understand it. But you're reading the basics right now. Go ahead.
And Moses fled from before it. Verse 4. And the Lord said unto Moses, put forth thy hand, and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand and caught it.
Right.
And it became a rod in his hand.
Right. So in other words, Moses took the staff, dropped it, it turned into a serpent. It scared him. Because, see, he's dealing with pure power, the Most High. So what the Most High says, okay, pick up the staff, but pick it up by the tail. And it turned to what? It turned back into a staff. Because remember, when you come before Pharaoh, you got to have something that's going to get his attention. Okay? And this is what's going to get his attention. Go ahead.
Verse 5. That they may believe that the Lord power of their fathers and the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac and the power of Jacob had appeared unto thee.
Right. Now, for people who don't read a lot, they thought this was the only way Moses was going to show power. But when we're going to read on, there were different ways that Moses was, different things Moses was given to show power. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, Put now thy hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
Right. So he put his hand in his bosom and he pulled it out. It was what? Leprous as snow. Other words, like Edomites. No pigmentation. You do that to somebody, you're going to have to pick them up off the floor. Because that's a scary thing to see. When you're actually in the room with a person, here's what you got to remember. Moses is going to be actually in a room with Pharaoh when these things take place. And put yourself in Pharaoh's position. You're all powerful. He's supposed to be nervous just talking to you. And look what he's doing. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And he said, Put thy hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
Go ahead. Oh, let me add one more thing. Another thing you have to take into consideration. Who was Moses? One of the slaves. A slave that's the bottom of the food chain, coming to you like this. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, then they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these two signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river and pour it upon the dry land.
Right.
And the water.
Right. There was 3 miracles. We went over 2 of them. We coming over the 3rd one. Go ahead.
And the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land.
Read that again.
Okay. Verse 9. And it shall come to pass, if they shall not believe also these 2 signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river and pour it upon the dry land. And the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land.
Right. So he took water from the river and he poured it on the ground and it turned into blood. That was later on one of the plagues that hit Egypt. Now, this right here, you bring him before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Now, we're going to show you scriptures where the governments were dealing in witchcraft. Why? Who was their power source? Like I said before, you have a multi-plug. They was praying to these other gods, and they was getting their power from who? Satan. When you come for the Most High, you can only come one way, through Christ. That's in John 14:6. You don't have to get that. Just hold on to that. Keep that under your cap. But with Satan, you got all kind of ways. It's got all kind of ways to come to Satan. Okay, get Exodus 7. Start at the 10th verse. We're going to show you the leaders had access to witchcraft.
Exodus 7 and verse 10.
Yeah.
And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servant, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men.
Stop. What does it mean, wise men? they understood what? Power. Okay, they were dealing in witchcraft. They were dealing in sorcery. That's who the wise men were. So, in other words, his staff, head of that government, was it powered by witchcraft, sorcery, Satan. When they pray to the other gods and give sacrifices, whether it be children, women, or whatever, Satan likes that. That's following the laws, but on the left-hand side. And as a result, Satan gives them what? Power. So he has the staff, wise men. And later on, it tells you there's sorcerers and magicians. Okay? This is part of his, what you call, cabinet. And don't think they still don't do that. Who still is power source for all governments? Satan.
See that?
No. Okay. What I ask you to get? Exodus 7.
Exodus 7 and verse 10. My mic's falling off. Exodus 7 and verse 10. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers, now the magicians of Egypt.
Right. So in other words, this particular group dealt in what? Witchcraft and sorcery.
Magic.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Magicians of Egypt. They also did in like manner, and their enchantments, with their enchantments, Salakia. They also did in like manner with their enchantments. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents.
Stop. Moses and Aaron, what did they do? Aaron took the rod and threw it down. It turned into a serpent. So what did Pharaoh do? He didn't get upset. He has a staff. I mean, a people staff. Magi's, magicians, and sorcerers and wise men. Okay? They deal in the spirit world. They came and they did the same thing. Read.
But Aaron's staff swallowed up their staffs.
Right. Go ahead.
13. Any hardened Pharaoh's heart.
Stop. Go back.
Okay.
And read that again.
Okay. And they became serpents, but Aaron's staff swallowed up their staff.
Right. So in other words, the wise men and sorcerers, they put the staff down and they did the same. Oh, you want to turn into a serpent? We can do the same thing. They did that. But guess what? The Most High had it where the serpent, now it used to be Aaron's staff, ate up their staffs, their serpents. Okay? To show you what? You can't up the Most High on anything. Now, we're going to read some other stories with where rulers use witchcraft. Get me Matthew's 2nd chapter.
Matthew 2 and
Start at the first verse.
2 and 1. Now when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold.
You know what? People read this story, but they don't see. This type of story, when you read it, you have to sit back and think for a second. Go ahead.
Okay. There came wise men from the east to Jerusalem.
Stop. Who are these wise men? They understand the spirit world. It's like in the mafia movies. You get the mafia guys, they call them wise guys, which means they understand how power really works. They're getting that from the Bible. Because how does power really work? At this case, the power is Satan. When things are in order, the power is going to be what? The Most High. But right now, Satan's on stage right now. He's the power. Go ahead.
Verse 2, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east.
Right. What are they doing? They're reading the stars. How would they know to make a statement like that? The spirit world is at work. Here's what people don't understand. When you stand in the room, don't you know there's angels in the room with you? Don't go there, but you people out there, write this down. Everybody has a guardian angel. Matthews 18:10. Okay? This angel writes down everything you do from when you're born to when you take your last breath. Now, after that, write Revelations 20:12. When you die and you come before the Most High, that same angel come with all them books for everything you did and is judged against that Bible. Okay? Yahweh Shai could be your lawyer, but he got to have something to work with. If you've been down here simple and doing what you want to do, even he can't help you. You're like, dude, I got to have something to work with. Okay? So every time you do something, remember, there's an angel. Most High assigns an angel from the time you born to the time you die to write down everything you do. That goes for people and that goes for nations. When it says the Most High is judging the nation, like it tells you in Genesis 15, verses 12, 13, and 14. 12 and 13 talking about the punishment that we went through. 14 talks about how the Most High is going to come against the nations that came against Israel. That's judgment. In order for that judgment to take place, an angel had to write all the records, everything that was done, and present that to the Most High, like a court. See? Once you understand this, your whole outlook is going to change. People going to wonder, why are you so calm and everything going crazy? Because you understand what this Bible is talking about. People ready to jump out the window, drink a gallon of Hennessy and all that. Okay, so when the room stops spinning and you wake up, you still in trouble. What did you accomplish? Nothing. Understand this Bible. Let this be your rock. Where you at?
I'm still in 2.
Read.
For we have seen his star in the east and have come to worship him. 3.
Stop. When people say they seen a star, if you ever been down south, when you look up in the sky, you see plenty of stars, but they're millions of miles away. Mm-hmm. See, the light coming on, people say, how a particular star are you following? Go ahead.
Verse 3. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he commanded of them.
Stop.
He demanded of them.
Hold it.
I'm sorry.
You got to remember, right? When these leaders were scared, why were they scared? Because all this was coming from the people they had as slaves. Speed that up to today. Why do you think they watch the ghetto so tight? If you out 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you know what I'm talking about. People who don't belong in certain areas are there watching everything we do. Why? We the chosen people. We the chosen people. Herod knew it. Pharaoh knew it. Those chosen people, a leader is going to come out that group and upset my kingdom. Why you think these migrants are here? Black people are like we docile, but everybody watch what we do. Why? Because at a certain point, we're going to wake up. Find out who we are. Find out who they are. And the Most High going to make it crystal clear what's going to happen. Leaders are scared. Okay? Leaders understand this Bible. To them, the Bible is on the level of a instruction manual. That's how real they take this Bible. As you go up the food chain, they take the Bible that much more serious. Now, where we are, church done turn the Bible into like almost a comic book. That stuff ain't real. They've been talking about that for years. That ain't gonna happen. World leaders know what this Bible is talking about, and they take it deadly serious. The U.S. military has this Bible on computer. Anytime something happens anywhere in the world, computer tells you what to look for. You laughing and joking because all that stuff that they do in church where they got their hand up in the air and they, that's not the Bible. That's emotions. Okay? Read.
Verse 4. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born.
Right. These are people dealing in what? The spirit world. Go ahead.
And they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophets, and thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel.
Right. That's talking about Yahushua. And he will also be the sacrifice to bring Israel forth. Go ahead. Now, when you go back to when Satan was being tossed out, when you got to the 10th verse, and it says salvation, okay, and it said his Christ. That was Christ's purpose. Because when you go back to Lamentations, the 5th and in the 6th verse, the Most High got rid of everything. Every way you can come back to the Most High for forgiveness and communication, he got rid of it. And what did he replace it with? Christ. So Christ being born, he did what? That's his part in this story that the Most High wrote. Go ahead.
Verse 7. Then Herod, when he had privately called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child. And when ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. Number 9, verse 9. When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them.
Stop. Let's think for a second. Put your thinking cap on. These men saw a star. When you look up into the heavens, you see stars. They're so small, you be like, there's no way you following a star that's out there. Something illuminated that they saw, a bright light that only they can see. Because remember, these men were of the spirit world. Now, if something was bright and they following it, can't everybody see that? Christ had to be protected. Why? He was a baby. So now when they say that, there was a bright star and the wise men followed the star, I don't want to ruin the story. Go ahead, read.
Okay. Till it came and stood over where the young child was.
Stop. Now, you know, when you look up in the heavens and you see stars millions of miles away, there's no way you can actually follow that to a house or location. So there was something that was bright that only they can see. These spiritual men. And they came and they stopped over a house. which means it had to have been low. And at the same time, nobody else can see this light. Because if it was, everybody would have been over there. And that defeats the purpose. So this light that only they can see came and it stopped over the house. And what's that showing you? They were dealing on a spiritual level. Okay, now they're going to. Oh, almost spilled this thing. Before I close up, I want to bring this thing up to date. When you go to the book, give me the book of give me the book of Obadiah. Wait, give me the 13th verse on that.
On what?
When you just left Matthew's.
Okay. Verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod,
Right. I'm sorry, go ahead.
for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
Right. Remember he said, oh, I want to come and I want to worship him too? No, he's going to kill him. Why? Because that's a threat to his rulership. Christ was a threat to his rulership. Speed the clock up. Back in the days when I think all the drugs were put in our neighborhood, we the chosen people. After a certain point, the Most High says, okay, they served their punishment, I'm going to raise them up. So what's Esau and them going to do? Destroy as many of our people as they can. That's why the drugs came up. Okay? When you go to Maccabees, the first chapter, when they was killing babies, why you think they was killing babies? That's the chosen seed. We the chosen people. That's why everything comes against us. It's a spiritual battle between good and evil. Okay? The angel came to Joseph and said, what? You're going to do A, B, C, and D. That's it. Why? You got to protect Christ. Why? Because Christ is the sacrifice that's going to save Israel so Israel can see that kingdom. You can't see the kingdom unless all that sin is taken care of. Like I said, it's like a road to the kingdom. This is one of the pitfalls that we had to go through to get to the kingdom. That's what you got to understand. It's like a journey. And the Most High wrote everything, all the pitfalls, the highs, the lows. The Most High put all that in the equation or the story. So when you wake up in the morning, you actually live in a Bible story. Okay, that was 13 you got, right?
Con.
Give me Obadiah. You got it?
Done.
The first verse.
Salaka. Obadiah 1 and verse.
Wait, hold it 1 second. For you people out there, write this down, 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. Esau's the end of this world. He's the end of this world, and what follows? Jacob. So Esau has to what? He has to fall. And what's he doing now? How you can't see this place not falling? You got like 3 million immigrants in this country, and if the light don't come on, think for a second. In the state of Maine, they got 2 years free rent. These are in brand new buildings. Who fit in the bill? The government. In New York City, these immigrants are given what? Credit cards. Who fit in the bill? The government. Why? Who they got to step on? The children of Israel. In their mind, the children of Israel going to wake up. They're looking for reparations. We're going to be saved through this without money. But 2/3, they don't care. What if they go off in the system? You got a military but can't get, think for a second. You got a military but you can't get enough recruits. Why? People ain't interested. Majority of your white kids are drug addicts. They in rehab. Everything was fine. When you go back to Genesis 15, 12, 13, and 14, between the verses of 12 and 13, that's when we was in slavery. After 13 comes 14. Slavery is over. Now the Most High is coming after the other nations. That's what we living in now. That's what you seeing on CNN. Everything is following a blueprint of the Bible. The world leaders know this. They know this. They're scared. This is the end. And they know the outcome. This place is going to fall. You black people and Spanish people and children of Israel, get them scriptures on repentance, write it down. Let me give you a sample of what you should do if you're smart. On a large piece of paper that only you know where it is, or just do it mentally. Think of all the rotten things you've done in life. Write them down and one by one ask the Most High to forgive you for, as it's written down, forgive me for this. If there's 30 notations, ask the Most High to forgive you for each one. Okay? That's time consuming, really? You better read Revelations, what's that, 20 and 12? Where you got to stand before the Most High. And your Howard Shot got that look like, I got nothing to work with. Okay? Repent now. Okay? Everybody's praying. The people up top praying, why? They're hoping for an extension. Ain't no extension. The 400 years, like it tells you in Genesis 15, that's over with. Now the Most High is what? Destroying the nations. Got them fighting amongst themselves to destroy this place. Why? To bring up the children of Israel from the bottom to the top. Now, since you got that about Esau is going to fall and Jacob is going to take his place, now we're going to go to the book of Obadiah. This is dealing with what? The nation of Edom. See, here's the problem when you read about Esau and Jacob. You read Esau, Esau, Esau. That's one cat that went rogue in the Bible. What you got to do is go to Genesis 36, 8, and 9. Esau becomes Edom. Okay, that goes from one person to a whole nation now. Okay, and that nation's around the world causing havoc. Why? That's Bible prophecy. And what's their power source? Do me a favor, get that scripture Genesis 13 and 4. Revelations 13 and 4. You got to get a visual of what it's talking about. It's about power. You got it? Whoever has it. This is talking about the other nations. You got it? Go ahead, read.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 4. And they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast.
Stop. The dragon is Satan. The beasts are what? The nations. And how do they get the power? Simple. They're praying to the other gods that are down here. Like I said, think of the multi-plug. With the Most High, you can come to the Most High only one way, Christ. John 14 and 6. But with Satan, that's the multi-plug. You can come this way, that way, and whatever. All kind of ways. And what do the nations do? They make up gods and they pray to them. And they give sacrifices. Whether it's cattle, whether it's children, whether it's virgins, all that stuff. They do that. And Satan is happy. Okay, the Most High takes sacrifice, Satan taking sacrifice. It's the same thing, power. The nations get power from who? Satan. But when Satan came down, was put down on the earth, the clock was ticking. It's only going to be for a little while. Okay? The clock is running out. Satan knows it's running out. The other nations, they know. Only one in the dark is Israel. They're walking, looking around. Like somebody just got their purse snatched. They looking around. They don't pick up on this thing. It's real, people. The Bible is real.
God.
Go ahead, where you at?
And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him?
Right.
Verse 5.
Right. They in a position of power. Who going to deal with these people? Satan gave them the power. They may look invincible, but no. The clock is ticking on all of this stuff. It's ticking. It's ticking. It says after a while, it's going to be like a bad dream. That's how it's going to be when the smoke finally clears. Now, where were you at, Yahweh?
Obadiah.
Start the first verse. Read.
Okay. How did I get here? Hold on a minute. It's a lot there. Obadiah, and the first verse, Obadiah 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord. An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen.
Stop. Esau's population is shrinking worldwide. Look it up on the internet. It's showing you. They are catching sickness from radiation, chemicals they use, because they don't have no pigmentation. They're getting sick. They're dying. Okay? When you look at TV right now, when the last time you seen an entire white family in a commercial? Everything is mixed. I seen this TV commercial where they were selling mattresses. You had this white woman, and then next to her, there's a black guy waking up. What kind of nonsense is that? Back in the days, that never happened. What are they showing you white people? It's over. Why do you think Trump is so popular? He's trying to tell you white people, it's time to wake up. But it's finished. Look at this place. You got a guy, head of the most powerful nation on the planet. He hear voices when he walk. He wide awake and hearing voices. When you see the way Biden acts, he's the president of the United States. The man is speaking, walks off stage and gets lost. It's over. It's over. All these other nations, when you look at England, they got a problem with the Muslims and the Africans. The white population is dying out. Punch up the city of London. The mayor is what? An Arab. How did he get in there? They voted him in. They got enough of them to get in there with votes. Where the white people at? They dying out. Read that again.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
Right. Who's it talking about in this chapter? Esau. It tells you that in the first verse. Read.
Okay. Verse 3. The pride of thine heart had deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock.
He came from the caves. There's an anthropologist named Johann Blumenbach. That's John Ann. That's Johann, and you got Blumenbach. Blumenbach. He's an anthropologist. He's the one that coined the phrase Caucasian. Why? It means cave dwellers. When you go to Genesis 36, 8 and 9, it tells you Esau's in what? Mount Seir. They telling you all this. It's right in front of you, but the fact is people don't read. But at the end, people gonna start reading. Read.
Whose habitation is high.
Right, who got high habitations in here? Go downtown, you got buildings, condos 60 stories up.
Hundreds.
How you got an apartment on the 61st floor or the 70th floor? That's crazy. In the Bible, it can't be more than, I think it's what, 3 stories?
It's 3 stories. Yeah.
3, I have to look it up. In the Bible, a house can't be more than 3 stories. Go ahead.
Actually, it's 2 stories.
I'm sorry, 2 stories.
Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
Stop. When you go to court, when you go to church, you're going to see a flag. On the top is a golden eagle. That's America. Every white nation has an eagle as a symbol. You go back to ancient Rome, what's on there? An eagle. Greece, an eagle. When America was fighting Germany, both of them had symbols of what? Eagle. Italy was involved. They had what? The eagle. Every white nation has what? The eagle. Look it up. Go ahead.
And though thou set thy nest among the stars.
Stop. This particular verse would not make sense, let's say, in the 1900s. Oh, no, go back to the 1700s. The Bible was still around. Read that again. Mind you, let's say this is the 1700s. Go ahead, read that again.
Okay. Salakia. Though thou set thy nest among the stars.
Now, if this is 1700, what sense does that make? What's he talking about, nest among the stars? You have to speed the clock up to what? Space travel. Okay? Space travel. That's what it's talking about. Who went into space? Esau. What did he say? The eagle has landed. Mm-hmm. When you go to the courtroom, you're going to see a flag, and it has yellow fringes on it. Talking about that's martial law. Okay? When you go to church, any church, it's under 501c3. They're gonna have an eagle on top of a flag, and it's gonna have yellow fringes. Any denomination church, they have to have it if it's under 501c3, which means what? It's under the government, which means what? Satan has control of it. When you go back to the beginning of this video, Satan is running things. Okay? He has his hand on everything. I'm looking at the clock, and we about running out of time. We'll continue, but for now, I'm going to say shalom, and it was an honor coming out here teaching you people the Bible. And you want to know something? The way these plagues keep hitting America, well, not just America, every nation plagues are hitting. It's an honor to teach. With that, I'm going to say shalom. Most High willing, I'll see you next week or whenever to help get the word of this Bible out to the children of Israel and everybody. Even the other nations, they got to learn this Bible.
That's right.
Everybody got to learn it. With that, I'm going to say shalom.